Hello, I'm Cody Whipple with the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. Welcome to our virtual Introduction to Ice Fishing series of videos. Today we're joined by a special guest, Jordan Allison. Jordan is a fisheries biologist with the Division of Environmental Services, and he's also an avid ice angler. In this video, he's going to introduce you to some of the safety items you should consider bringing along before you head out onto the ice.
Hi everyone, we're here in Tioga County at Lake Nessmuk, and before we get on the ice, I'm going to introduce you to some of the safety items you should carry with you to make sure you have an enjoyable day while you're out enjoying the outdoors. So the first thing you're going to want to have when you're going onto the ice is a set of ice picks. Now these are a pair of ice picks that are available for purchase at any tackle shop, and what they essentially are is two handles with nails in them, and they can assist you in pulling yourself out should you fall through the ice. So what you're going to want to do if you fall through would be to essentially use these as a pair of spikes, and you're going to dig them into the ice in front of you to pull yourself out of the water because it's very difficult to get out using your bare hands. You're going to want to wear these around your neck because when you fall through, the water is very cold and you're not going to be thinking nearly as clearly as you were before you went in. And if you have them around your neck, they're easily accessible and always available. There are also homemade versions of the same things. These are essentially just pieces of wood with nails pounded into them, and they function the same way and are also effective at helping you self-rescue. The next thing you're going to want to carry is a throw rope. Now these are available at any boating store. A lot of times people will carry these when they're canoeing or kayaking. And what you can do with this is it's essentially just a rope that's coiled up inside of a bag, is that if you're trying to assist somebody else that has fallen through, you can actually throw this to them and pull them out onto the ice from a safe distance so that you don't have to put yourself at risk. Other things that I like to carry and are very important is what this is called is an ice spud. And what this is essentially a heavy ice chisel that you use while you're walking out onto the lake to check the ice in front of you. So essentially you hit the ice in front of you, and if you have 2 or 3 whacks to the ice and it doesn't break, you are essentially on ice that's thick enough to support your weight. And you want to continue to check the ice as you go to make sure that that ice isn't get thinner, because ice thickness does vary from spot to spot depending on things like inflow from incoming streams or around areas where there's stick-ups like docks or stumps. So this is one of the most important tools that you can have in order to make sure that you stay safe while you're out there ice fishing. The next thing that you want to have available to you is a way to check the ice thickness. So after you get out onto the lake and you've used your spud to find out how thick the ice is, you want to know exactly how thick it is, and I have a tape measure which I use. We recommend a minimum of 4 inches of ice to support one person, or a minimum of 6 inches of ice to support group activities while you're out there. And it's important that you follow those general guidelines, because thinner ice could cause you to fall through and you could potentially harm yourself or others if you go out on thinner ice. The other thing that I've also done here is I have my ice scoop, and I've marked out line thicknesses using a tape measure so that I can just stick it through the ice, hook it on the bottom, pull it up, and then you can see how thick the ice is based on the marks that you've made on your ice scoop. Now a couple other pieces of equipment that are very important is, as I'm wearing, these are float suits. So these have actually been designed with hollow fill insulation. This is the coat and this is the bibs, and these will float you for approximately 2 hours if you would fall through, to assist you in self-rescue. As I stated earlier, it doesn't take very fancy clothing to get out there and stay warm while you're ice fishing, but things like these amenities will provide you with ice fishing specific creature comforts while you're out there, and they will also keep you safe on the ice. If you don't want to invest in one of these, you can also wear a PFD. So any life jacket that you have around the house that would fit either under or over your winter clothing also will provide flotation to keep you afloat should you fall through the ice. The one thing that also is on many PFDs is a whistle. I usually carry a whistle on, even just on my float coat, because in the event that you're out there fishing and you fall through and somebody doesn't happen to notice, you can use this to get your attention. A couple other things you want to take into consideration or do before you go ice fishing is you want to file a plan, or we call them float plans when you're boating, but when you're going ice fishing, you never want to fish alone. You want to let somebody know where you're going. You want to let them know what you're driving, and also you want to let them know what your anticipated time of return is, so that if you don't return within a reasonable amount of time, they can go looking for you or send somebody out that could potentially find you if something bad should have happened. Another important safety item to have when you're going out on the ice is a first aid kit. As mentioned previously, there's sharp objects like your auger that can actually cause cuts. you could fall down and cause injuries that way. And your general first aid kit again has things in it to help you bandage a minor injury. It has things like splints and materials that allow you to do splints if you would have a suspected broken bone. So this is always a good idea to bring along with you, to have in your personal vehicle, to have with you on the ice, in the boat. No matter what you're out doing, it's always good to have a first aid kit to take care of any mishaps that might happen while you're out on the ice. Other safety considerations include making sure that you check local weather conditions in the recent past and in the future, so you can see whether the ice has been growing or being reduced, and also to look to see if we've got any rain or snow melt recently that could have caused increased flows that may have reduced ice thicknesses. We like to stress the fact that there's no such thing as safe ice, because there can be variable ice conditions. But if you take the proper safety precautions like we've outlined here, there's no reason that you can't have a nice, enjoyable day out fishing through the hard water with your family and friends.
Hey Jordy, real quick, I noticed that you're wearing something on your feet. Can you explain what those are?
Well, the other thing I have is actually, these are called creepers or cleats. So what this is essentially a rubber band that has some metal spikes on it that go under your boots. And what you do is you essentially just slip them on over top of your boot, and it provides you with lots of traction while you're out on the ice, so you don't fall down and hit your head or break your arm and have a concussion. So I've fished without these for many years. I actually got this pair for Christmas this year, and I have not gone out a single day without wearing them. They are very convenient. They provide traction, and they make you much safer when you're on top of the ice running around chasing fish or looking for flags from tip-ups.